Fun.
Welcome to Hockenheim and the Zero Racing Series Wednesday series.
What, I thought there was racing. You're telling me there's zero racing?
We are here for 40 minutes of the Hockenheim ring, and with me as always is Mr. Byron.
Hello.
And our special guest commentator, third man in the booth, is Mr. C.
Hello.
My co-host on the podcast with no name, hopefully to have a name by the next episode.
What about the Oversteer podcast?
You know what? I actually kind of like that.
No, it has been done.
Oh, it has been done?
Damn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next time
actually.
Next time on the podcast with no name, we will reveal the name of the podcast.
Oh boy.
Gulf Oil Racing podcast.
Right. Don't take promises, Mike.
Currently on pole, we have the Nissan Godzilla of Ben Schwarry, followed by Gerardo Del Val and Paul Riccobene, championship leader, in third place in the Audi. We have, I believe, 18 cars on the grid, although a couple did unfortunately cut out before the race, so we have a couple of misses. We ride with Rick Martel and now Mike McGracken, currently in 13th position in the Audi, 2.5 seconds off of pole.
Who's Mike McGracken? Oh, you too. Okay, never mind. Hello.
Indeed. I try and ask him questions about himself in the third person all the time. Well, how would you classify Mike McGracken's style out there?
Rough.
Is that what he's driving?
No,
What if
no.
I don't?
We have Ben Schwarry starting on pole from Gerardo Del Val, Paul Riccobene, Simion Nacu is your top Silver Cup eligible qualifier, Ariel Zatoni, Mike Schneider, Eric Friesen, Dennis Meister, Joe Racer, Stefan Gervais, Mike McGracken, and Rick Martel listed, although there are a couple of people missing due to the fact that the recording machine crashed during qualifying and had to be rebooted.
It's a Derksen on your car.
I think it says Decra, my friend, but I mean,
Derksen.
we'll take it. We have a 5-minute warm up here as the drivers get familiar with their cars under a heavy fuel load. Dennis Meissner, our most recent winner in the Zero Series, he won the reverse grid race at Sonoma and has become the first person in Zero to pay the price to change his car. He took a 20-point penalty to change from the Audi to the Corvette.
Dang.
Which was a bit weird because, like I said, he won a race and then transferred out of the car that he won the race in.
That sounds counterproductive.
A little bit, but he was saying a lot of nice things about the Corvette leading up to this race, so he seems very happy with his decision. We are looking to continue our streak of a different winner for every race this season because no one has won 2 races. And in fact, only one car has won 2 races, which is the Audi R8, which won at Sepang with Paul Riccobene, and at Sonoma with Dennis Meissner.
I feel like I win every race that I watch.
That is not untrue. We have also had wins for Mercedes, BMW, Corvette, the Callaway C7, and Porsche. And Ben Schwarry may have broken the Nissan there early on.
Boy, these Porsches are ugly.
We ride with Mike Schneider, Zero veteran who returned to the grid at Sonoma and is back here once again in Hockenheim. And back out on track is the pole sitter Ben Schwarry in the Nissan Godzilla. Nissan GTR Godzilla.
So you said that Nissan didn't win yet.
Nissan has not won a race yet this season.
So he's on pole position. Maybe all of our money on him.
It would be a good bet. Ben's a quality driver. He's on pole. I can't recall a time he's been on pole and not won a race.
Can you recall a time where he has not been on pole and also won a race?
Yes. He's not on pole much, to be honest. Ben is not really much of a hot lapper, so if he's able to take pole with his not particularly hot lapping style of driving, that bodes very well for the race.
I'm making notes. Paul, not good at laps.
That's bad, not Paul.
Same thing. Paul, Ben, and Ricky.
We have Byron's favorite team, the crap racing team with Richard Higgs.
Yeah, boy. Does he have kids? Are they known as collectively as the Three Little Higgs?
I do not know if he has kids, but Rich does watch the videos, so hopefully he will answer that question.
Excellent. We will get answers to the questions nobody knew that they were going to be asked.
I actually don't know if anyone on the grid has kids, actually, as far as I know.
Just drove them all off a cliff.
Oh, no, I'm wrong on that. Dean Reimers has kids.
Right. That he knows of, or
That he knows of, that he is the father of.
okay.
We're not dealing with a circumstance like my elder brother, who we don't know how many kids he has. Frankly, don't want to know how many kids he has. There are numerous Thai hookers who might be able to claim child support. I don't know.
Wow, ooh, nice. No, yeah.
Dennis Meister moving to the top of the timesheets by virtue of having completed a lap, basically. And we have a debutant on the grid today, the BMW driver Mike Stoffmill, representing Holland. And the Dutch drivers have a checkered history in Zero, so we're hoping that Mike can reverse the general trend on that matter.
Checkered, as in.
Checkered as in rude.
Oh, right.
No, I thought you were saying that they get checkered flags.
I mean, they do get checkered flags, but that's not really where I was going with that. We all get checkered flags.
Well, almost.
Actually, is there someone who's never finished a Zero race and shown up for a race? I'm thinking there might be someone, but I can't think of who it is.
Dave.
No, you know what? Travers Mance Jr. There is our only Zero racing driver to not have taken a checkered flag.
Okay, so there's
showed up for 2 races and crashed into both.
Oh.
But his dad has finished races, so there you go.
Oh boy, Mr. Mike McGracken is like not on the race line and not using all the track.
At that point, I think I damaged the car.
Okay.
All right, the grid is forming up. We will see how this goes. We have a Nissan on pole for the first time ever, so that's going to be an interesting thing. And we'll see if Ben Schwarry can continue the trend of new winners, or can someone like Paul Riccobene, for example, manage to get a second finally.
I'm going with Paul.
Going with Paul. Byron, who's your pick?
Gulf Oil.
The Gulf Oil of Rick Martel. And I believe this is going to take it all the way down to the 0 mark because there is one driver in the pit lane who has still not joined the grid.
Rick Martel was last, Byron?
Rick Martel is not last. It's the car that is missing that is last.
Right. Did I see that?
There we go.
Okay.
Mark Klapzul bringing up the rear, and he is the man we ride on board with in his RWT Racing Callaway C7 Corvette.
How many people does he put in the wall right off the first turn?
None. And we are off, and it
believe
looks
you.
like a good start from Gerardo Del Val. He has taken the lead.
I thought it was pronounced Delvea.
I believe it is Del Val. I've been told this.
I think Martin told us deliberately that it was Delvea.
Is it Delvea? Okay, Delvea.
Pretty sure. You might have been way too drunk to remember.
It's possible. Ben Schwarry in second place, Paul Riccobene in third, and the leading man in the Silver Cup, Simion Nacu, with Ariel Zatoni going up the inside.
Go Simion, go Simion. Well, not backwards.
Further back, it looks like Bo Stamper has perhaps had an incident and is off the back of the pack. Here we go. Little bit of touching in that corner there in the hairpin.
Well, look, a little touching.
Like stop, building a battle with Eric Friesen over 7th place there. Simi Naku has been shuffled back to 5th. He is now behind Ariel Zatoni in the Mercedes. Stoffmill up to 6th place. A lot of shuffling going on there that the camera is not picking up, unfortunately. Looks like Eric Friesen maybe had a moment because he has dropped down way towards the back of the pack. And things have somewhat sorted out, it appears, with the top 10 of Delvea, Schwarry, Riccobene, Zatoni, Nacu, Stoffmill, Schneider, Meichner, Gervais, and McGracken as your top 10.
Well, Mike did find a lot of places at the start.
3 spots. And it looks like our losers at the start were Eric Friesen, who's dropped down to 15th position. Rick Martel with a great start up to 11th place, and Mark Labzul's up from last to 13th. Stoffmill looking for a way around Simion Nacu, and it looks like he's going to get it, although the camera cut away there, unfortunately. And Mike Schneider is coming up fast in the Porsche.
Mike Schneider is a carrot.
So we have a Rough leading from a Nissan from an Audi. Now the Roughs and Nissans have failed to take a win so far this season, so we could have a first-time winner if Delvea or Schwari can bring this home. Oh! Hard contact.
That guy's dead.
Mike Schneider dive bombing into the into that hairpin corner there, and that has caused carnage. Looks like he's damaged his own car worst of all, so he will pay the price from this regardless of the steward's decisions. And it looks like he has also collected Ariel Zatoni, who's dropped down to 9th place. And also looks like Joe Racer has been lost as he appears to be off of the track and down a lap. So after that carnage, we still have Delvea leading from Schwari, Riccobene, Stoffmill, Nacu, Meister, Gervais, McGracken, Zatoni, and Schneider. Schneider is heavily damaged, so look for him to drop out of the top 10 probably in the near future here. He's got Rick Martel all over his back end. And the model will be looking for a way around Mr. Schneider. Also could see Schneider hit the pit lane here as we approach the end of the lap. We'll see if he tries to do anything with that. And Ben Schwari is putting the pressure on Gerardo Delvea at the front of the pack.
Is Stoffmeal anything like cornmeal?
You'd have to ask Mr. Mike Stoffmill.
Interesting.
Not sure how big on corn the Dutch are.
They're not big on anything. They're just big.
I mean, they are big. They're big on soccer and Dutch type boxing.
They do like kicking stuff for a variety of reasons.
Kicking stuff for a variety of reasons. Oh, Gerardo Delvea goes wide.
Bench warrant has been issued.
This is going to put the Nissan in front, I think. Oh, no, maybe not. He's managing to hold on to this surprisingly well, but Ben has the inside line, and...
Oh, he doesn't.
Delvea retains the lead, fighting hard in that rough. The Nissan has a great deal of straight line speed, though, and may be able to take it here.
Is this why Ben didn't want to do commentary with us?
Ben never wants to do commentary with us. Everyone should pressure Ben to do commentary with us.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Riccobene is the man who's licking his chops right now, though, in 3rd place there in the Audi. Just going, yeah, just touch him, just touch him.
Boom! Come on! Come on! Ah.
No, nothing opening there. Good
Mobiles.
pressure at the front, though, and this is allowing Simion Nacu and Mike Stoffmill to catch up a little bit. Make this a little 5-car fight for the top spot. Between 5 different cars. That's kind of amazing. Got a Rough, Nissan, Audi, BMW, and Porsche. Further back, it is Meichner in 6th place in the Corvette, followed by the 2 Audis of Gervais and McGracken, then Zatoni in the top Mercedes, and the Porsche of Rick Martel rounding off the top 10. Of course, as I say this, Zatoni has gotten past Mike McGracken for 8th position.
Should have put him on the wall.
May not have been a wall there.
Well, that just sounds like quitter talk.
Just saying, this is not NASCAR. There's not always a wall.
There is if you drive far enough.
I would say that hairpin might be where Delvea is the most vulnerable. He seems to be sliding out a bit wide every time and not really apexing up. So that does leave the door open on the inside if someone, say Ben Schwari, were to shove it up the inside.
Yeah, but also, it looks like the Nissan has a little bit of high wing because the Nissan should fly by the rough in the straight and it doesn't, so...
That is true. I've always wondered why Ben picks that Nissan as his car. He's not really a low downforce kind of driver, so I think that kind of doesn't emphasize the main strength of the car.
Yeah, so. We'll
Well,
see.
I kind of think of Ben as kind of a low-down sort of person.
Maybe he picks himself up this race.
Maybe. Mark Clapzoul's worked his way into the top 10 as it looks like Rick Martel's gone off the track. He is now behind Clapzoul and Joe Stanford.
Yeah, what?
But the top 5 is where the camera is peeled, and for good reason. There is not a lot separating this group, less than 5 seconds total. And in the background, you can still see Dennis Meissner kind of running on his own a little bit there. But Stefan Gervais is not too far from him, and Ariel Zatoni might be charging back through the grid. He qualified quite high, was caught up in the Mike Schneider carnage, and might be on his way back to the front.
Come on, Simion. Dive in. Dive.
Launch the blue shell.
He thought about it. Oh, and it's the opening there! He's through!
Yes!
Simion Nacu putting the moves on Mike Stockmill for 4th place.
Go Moldova!
Simion Nacu, of course, the man absolutely dominating the Silver Cup this season. He has won all but one race.
He's welcome.
The only one he lost, the last one at Sonoma, which was won by Dennis Meissner. Eric Friesen working his way through the grid as he has made a move on Rick Martel. Piers Martel went off the track, actually, because he's also lost a spot to Dean Reimers. Looks like Martel's having a real hard time, actually. Stefan Gervais putting the pressure on Meissner, and in the background, you can see the charging car of Ariel Zatoni and then Mike McGracken, along with the, I believe, lapped car of Richard Higgs. Higgs is down in 15th place, so being right behind the 9th place car suggests that he has been lapped at this early stage. Probably had to make a pit stop, would be my guess.
Well, I would recommend probably using the bathroom before you leave home. It's just, my own personal advice.
It looks like we have lost Joe Racer and Mike Schneider from the race, bringing us down to 15th car. Before the race, we also lost John Pachea and Wayne Hutchinson in the qualifying session, but unfortunately had some issues that prevented them from taking part in the race.
I'm really impressed by Simion. He's like about half a second behind championship leader Paul Riccobene, so
Nacu is currently in 2nd place in the championship, so that's a good place to be.
Oh!
Ariel Zatoni going down the inside of Stefan Gervais. Looks like Gervais gets better drive out of the corner, though. Kind of like the Delvea-Schwari fight that we had a couple laps ago, actually.
I mean, that fight could be, pretty much over with a judicious usage of wall.
You're not wrong. Looks like the leaders are coming up to a lapped car. Potentially Rick Martel's, if I were to guess.
And you would have to be guessing.
I would, because I know that the bottom 3 are all down a lap. So I'm thinking it is Rick Martel, who seems to be having a bit of a rough race. Welcome to the Academy, by the way, Rick Martel. We'll be doing a little bit of veterans rehab in the Academy this Saturday. Race Room Bridge is the circuit with Audi TTs from the 2016 package.
I know I tried before, but now I'm applying myself for a wider audience. Can I do the academy also?
No, the Academy is for slow drivers.
No, it said beginner drivers, not slow. It said beginner.
Slow.
I can be slow.
We've already kicked one guy out of the Academy for being too fast.
And a girl.
And a girl. And a girl. One girl, one guy.
Equal opportunity ass kicking.
Indeed. we do. We do not discriminate based on gender, only speed.
Hot, nasty, badass speed.
Like Stockmill looking to try to get back at Simion Nacu, who is right up behind Paul Riccobene. Solid job of it. Looking to get past. That is indeed Rick Martel there up ahead in the Porsche, letting him lead us through. Although it looks like Ben Schwari lost a little bit of ground through the lapping. Paul Riccobene flashing his headlights, trying to get a little clean to Rick Martel.
Get him.
And Rick lets the top 5 through. Stockmill is right up on the back of this battle for 3rd once again, though, so far from over and looking to make a solid debut with perhaps a podium.
And we now saw the first pirate car. There's the Gulf livery. If you look, one headlight is black.
Ah,
It's winking at you.
Yeah, look.
you are correct. He has lost his
Hey,
front
baby, how
headlight.
you doing?
Looks like Mr. Martel had a little bit of contact, which would explain why he is so far off of everybody else. It seems. A couple of cars have been through the wars, I think, in this race. We've got Richard Higgs running way down there. We've got Dean Reimers running quite a ways off. We got Eric Friesen running quite a ways off, and of course we've lost Joe Racer and Mike Schneider.
No, Simion, why do you get out of the draft? Come on.
Simion
What the-
for a way around? Not using that draft to the fullest though.
Oh,
And that may leave him vulnerable to Mike Stockmill!
whoa!
The BMW lurches up the inside, that big car, trying to throw its weight around.
Simion, if you're watching this broadcast, you're way too nice.
And the first person to make a pass stick through that hairpin is Mike Stockmill, although here comes Simion back!
Okay,
And
I retract my words.
We randomly flash back to Ariel Zatoni fighting with Stefan Gervais. Looks like Gervais has held off the Mercedes once again. Bo Stamper's up into the top 10. Mike Stockmill is indeed behind Simion Nacu, so Simion made it work. Maybe he knows what he's doing. But he has dropped off the back of Paul Riccobene, so this has not worked out for him all that well. He's retained 4th position, but that's really about all he's retained.
He's got a retainer.
He might.
I think it's 2.
And the pressure is still on here between Zatoni and Gervais. Stefan looking much better than he did at Sonoma, where he was. His time away from the track definitely showed itself. We'll put it that way. The Audi versus Mercedes battle continues for 7th place, a classic rivalry in sports car racing. I would argue perhaps the greatest rivalry in sports car racing, Audi versus Mercedes.
Or Ferrari versus Porsche.
What about Schwinn versus
You
Vespa?
know, my problem with Porsche versus Ferrari is Porsche's annoying habit of like going away for like a decade.
Not my problem.
I didn't say it was your problem, I'm just saying. Like Audi and Mercedes, the rivalry never stops. Porsche's like, we got bored of this. And Ferrari's like, dude, we're supposed to be fighting here. What the hell?
Or the Holden versus Ford.
Holden versus Ford is pretty damn good. That's definitely up there. If we want to go NASCAR, you got to talk about Chevy versus Ford.
Please, those are not cars.
They're cars. They're just not well made and not well engineered in any real shape or form.
Did I hear that like they did fuel injections like 2 years ago?
Yes.
Oh my word, no. Sorry.
Also, an apology to Mike Stockmill, but your team has SMR in it, so I may just start referring to you as short range missile from my Mech Warrior trauma.
Okay, Simion is starting to reel in back. Riccobene.
Yeah, he's closed the gap down to 1.1 seconds. It was over 1.5 there for a while, so he's closing it up again. Looks like he's probably the 3rd fastest car behind Delvea and Schwartz.
Also, Schwer is getting a little bit closer because at one point it was 1.8 seconds and now it's 1.2.
Indeed, he's closing it back down. He's taking about 6/10 back.
As we get close to halfway.
We're also not getting a view of it, but it looks like there's a pretty good fight going on for 10th place between Bo Stamper and Mark Clappes, which is probably the battle Byron wants to see.
I want to see everything battle all the time, to the death. Put maces on the wheels, razor blades on the spoilers.
Something has happened to Dean Reimers. He is now a lap down to the car ahead of him, so I don't know if he's out of the race or has maybe had to make a pit stop to repair some damage. Hard day's work for the Australian contingent.
But are they used to it?
He's Simion Nacu is closing up to about a half second to Paul Riccobene, a little bit more now, but fluctuating between about 5/10 to 7/10.
And
Can
both
he make
of
a
them
move?
dropped stuff meal, not meal. Sorry.
Yeah, Stop Mill has dropped 2.5 seconds off the pace. We will see if he can make a comeback, perhaps. We still have 23 minutes to go, so plenty of time to settle this.
Well, I mean, if they drive faster, there'd be less time.
There would not be. The time is not in
Nope,
relation
that's
to this.
how it works. That's not true at all. If you
There would
actually pay
just be
attention
more
to physics.
laps.
Nope, you go fast. Actually, it'd probably take longer the faster they go, right?
Yes, because you do more laps, you do more.
Well, not only that, but you mean the faster you get towards light speed, the time for you slows down, so you'd actually be racing longer.
We're not racing that fast.
Well, obviously they're just not on my level.
Right, okay.
What is this terrestrial racing you speak of?
Byron exists at perpetually the speed.
Correct. 9/10 the speed of light, therefore time slows down.
It's how he is everywhere and yet nowhere at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And you stay young forever.
Yep, my own gravitational field. That's what's up, bitches.
Oh, so that explains that big fear that I saw in your city.
I mean, that's probably true.
Everything in Byron City is just there for Byron.
It amuses me, and I let it exist.
You should let it exist a little bit better, but your own style.
No, that also amuses me.
Oh,
I am a cruel god.
Simion cannot get much closer than this and not make it overtake. He's got that gap down to 0.3 of a second. And in the background, Mike Stopmill is starting to reel them in again a little bit, although as I say this, the gap spreads out a little bit. But that BMW is coming back at them. Makes me think that Paul Riccobene might actually be the slowest guy in this group of 5.
This is possible. I need a special mod for Paul.
Okay.
I need somebody to put an orangutan in his car so we can clearly see its arm waving out the window, so that he can be Riccobene and Clyde.
Oh.
Come on, now, go!
Simion going for it again here into the hairpin. We've seen a number of attempts here, and not many have succeeded.
Carnage, come on, baby! Come on, baby!
Ah,
no Carnage! Oh,
Push it! Push it!
He's ahead! He's ahead! Paul Riccobene dropped off the podium. Does he have anything for Nacu, his championship rival?
Looking pretty close.
I don't think he has the
tire
speed,
spikes.
though.
Should have used tire spikes. Whoa.
In the meantime, Ariel Zatoni and Dennis Meissner went in side by side there, and Zatoni had a moment of lack of control, shall we say.
I think he wanted to park the car.
Meissner retains 6th place. And Riccobene is all over the back of Nacu, but I feel he's probably the slower car of these two, so we'll see if Nacu can pull away from him. Hasn't happened yet. And we're back to the Ariel Zatoni versus Dennis Meissner fight. Argentina versus Denmark. Here we go. Corvette versus Mercedes. Two of the more streamlined cars. Two of the bigger front ends on the grid.
Byron, do you know any Danish foods?
Not really.
Danish food. Is it pannekuchen?
Yes, okay, that's a good one.
Hooray! I'm the best.
I lived in Denmark for about a year, and they had a strange potato meal that I didn't like. I don't know what it's called because Danish language is very beautiful and hard to pronounce.
Don't they use a lot of sour flavors and stuff in their food?
Yeah. At least in that potato thing.
Well, it's a slightly negative moment here for Denmark because Dennis Meissner has been relegated to 7th place by Ariel Zatoni.
Yeah, because he's driving a Corvette. If he went with an European brand, he would be done much better.
In fairness, the Callaway Corvettes are pretty much all built in Germany.
No, it's that I cannot accept that. What? What's the world coming to?
What is the world coming to?
Are you telling me they don't use like giant covered wagon slabs of metal for springs anymore?
No, not in the Callaway Corvettes.
Disappointed! I want to see a Corvette literally unable to turn or take any corners. Would be
I mean,
the best.
we did do a race at Bathurst that had a Camaro in it that we commentated on. That's pretty much what you're looking for.
Yeah, I like those things. It doesn't make any sense. Why are you doing this? Who cares?
Camaro rules.
Only Tom Moz is brave enough to race the Camaro in zero.
Oh, I like the Camaro. It's a very nice car. If you have like good tracks like Monza.
Yeah, it would be very strong at Monza. Norris ring.
Yes.
The Chuck Norris ring?
Yes.
That is what it will be referred to from now on. Let's be real.
How was it not before?
I don't know. I don't know how this hasn't happened.
Bruh. This is why I am called to all these parties.
That's true. The battle for the lead seems to be stringing out a little bit as Schwari's not really putting the pressure on anymore. Riccobene is sticking with Nacu pretty well, keeping to about a half second to the Porsche and championship rival he has. Honestly,
is the points difference big between Nacu and...
It's about 12 points, I think.
Okay, go Simion. Simion, after this broadcast, contact me for each track.
We'll be going to Laguna Seca next.
Oh, the rough should be... And Audi also should be great there.
That is what I'm thinking. Not such a great spot for Nissan and Mercedes, though.
Yeah.
And not a great spot for the Camaro if Tom decides to make an appearance.
Definitely not.
No. I think we'll see something large and green hit a wall. Well, Riccobene is on the attack here. He's making good use of this. Mike Stockmill is catching up to them. He's cut the gap down to about 2.5 seconds from the 3 it was at. Not much happening further down the track.
Bo Stampert seems to have made a nice recovery for himself from early in the race.
Indeed. He was in last place at one point and is currently running in 10th place. 1.4 seconds. Actually, a lot more. I think Mark Labzul might have gone off the track.
I think that's probably very likely.
He seems to be slipping back. Not really much in the way of battles outside of the top 5 right now. Dennis Meissner is close to Ariel Zatoni, but Zatoni got away from him and seems to have been largely able to pull away from him since. So I don't think that really is a battle that's going to be unless Zatoni makes a mistake.
Oh yeah, baby, pull it out. Oh wait, no, not like that.
Not like that, no. It's too dirty.
Not like
Speaking of which, here is the battle between Ariel Zatoni and Dennis Meissner, with the Corvette trying to catch up to the Mercedes. And further back, looks like Stefan Gervais might have had a bit of a problem at some point. He's falling back towards Mike McRacken in 9th position.
You're reeling him in.
And I would say Mark Klapzul's had a major off. He's lost a spot to Eric Friesen and is dropping like a stone.
The river.
He's got 50 seconds to Rick Martel, so he might be able to rejoin in 12th place, but he has definitely gone off the track or is in the pit lane. And he's not the right spot to be in the pits, though. And it looks like Simion Nacu is starting to pull a little bit away from Paul Riccobene. It's not too much. It's still only a little over a half second. Oh, there is Klapzul, so I think he was in the pit lane.
Paul Riccobene has like the last sector nailed and he's always catching up, but then he's losing everything else in the first and second sector to Simion.
Simion's got the advantage there. So up to 12th place has been lapped. Only 11 cars on the lead laps.
So did you say that?
In fairness, there are only 14 cars running.
Never won?
What was that?
The RAF never won? Of Gerardo?
Ruff is number 1, yep.
No, never won?
Oh, never won. No, it has not won a race, because there's only one Ruff, and that's Gerardo.
Oh,
No one else is racing that car.
Competition is rough. And he's 16 laps ahead of everybody.
The Simion is in the actual Porsche, like Porsche RAF. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, got it.
Porsche.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, in fact, none of the top 3 drivers have won a race this season, actually. Delvea, Schwari, and Nacu, all winless. So, It looks like we might be continuing the trend. Paul Riccobene is the only race winner in the top 5. And I don't think he really has a charge for 4th place in him right now.
The last 13 minutes? I don't think so.
There's enough time, but he needs some mistakes ahead of him, and I just don't think he's really had the pace.
He's like 7 seconds behind the leader. Oh, Simion did a mistake there. Oh.
Yeah, it's getting a little physical.
Oh.
Let's get physical.
Riccobene could have tried to shove it down the inside there, but he refrains for now.
Yeah, shove it in deep.
And this is playing into the hands of Mike Stoppmill, who's now only 1.3 seconds off this fight.
You're talking about some semi-professional commentator ladies that might be interesting to have on. I think they'd be horrified to work with me.
I mean, maybe.
But they're used to it because they're like racing, so.
That's possible.
I mean,
I'm sure that they're used to doing commentary with actual people who know things about racing. It might be a new experience. Maybe they find it refreshing. I don't know.
Might be. No one's complained so far.
Excellent. If you have any complaints, feel free to file them under G for I don't care.
Really doesn't care. Can't even come up with an appropriate letter.
Nope. It's a reference to, what was that movie? It wasn't Weird Science. Real Genius, I believe. With Val Kilmer. It was to file this under G for toy, and then he throws it in the garbage.
Okay. That is where your complaints are going. That's how it is.
Correct. That's my usual. It's like, oh yeah, file that one under G.
I'm kind of interested to see if Eric Friesen can improve his position further. I mean, considering the accident he had early in the race that put him way down in the picking order, he's found his way up to 11th. And he's been pretty consistently about a second a lap faster than the car ahead of him. So there's not really enough time. He needs Bo Stamper to make a mistake, but it still intrigues me.
Agreed. I mean, there's all this space. Why don't you just drive around him? What's wrong with you? God, it's so easy. Why do I have to tell you people these things?
Dennis Meister is closing up on the back of Ariel Zatoni. And we bring you a look at Ben Schwarry's Godzilla Nissan. He's closing down the leader again. It's down to 1.2 seconds, but he can't seem to get much closer than this.
Deploy grappling hook.
That would be useful.
Yes.
It's another one for your Mario Kart mod /
Yes.
Bond mod.
Yeah, if you're within, like... Wait, how far is he? Is it second? 1.2? Yeah, if you're within 1.2 seconds, just fire the grappling. Fire a harpoon. Grapple.
Fire the harpoon. Paul Riccobene is fallen off the back of Simion Nacu and now pretty much has to worry more about the charging Mike Stoppmill than he does getting back up to the podium. So Nacu may be able to nibble away a couple more points off of the lead. Be a hell of a feat if a Silver Cup eligible driver was able to win the championship.
Agreed.
You heard that, Simion? Do that shit.
It's never been done before.
I need to be silver. No, I need to be bronze.
You would not be bronze or silver. You would be gold.
I'm in Copper League.
I feel you're being too complimentary to yourself.
Being optimistic, shut up. I'm in Molybdenum League. No traction.
To borrow a League of Legends term, you are Wood 6.
Nice.
I play... I don't play League of Legends. Because it's too complicated for me.
It's nonsense.
I mean,
No,
Byron does proudly own an undefeated record.
Yeah, I do. 6-0 or some shit like that.
Yeah. No, your Dota record's 6-0. Your record in the league is 1-0.
Oh yeah, right.
You played once as Gentleman Cho'Gath, and that's basically it.
Ah, okay. So I play Hon, Heroes of New Earth.
Heroes of New Earth. That's a good one. My brother plays that.
Yeah.
The younger one for Kyle.
That's not a compliment.
For Byron's edification.
That is not a compliment. I'm letting you in on some secrets here.
I'll take in anything.
It's like, oh yeah, my brother does that. That's code for you are garbage and you are dead to Mike now.
It's okay.
Not dead to me. If people who played games that Kyle played were dead to me, a lot of people would be dead to me. Just so long as you don't act like Kyle, we don't.
Boy, don't make me go get the axe.
I saw a lot of traitors in ESR, like playing shooting games and all that. Guy said, "Well, I still own this game. Let me be a traitor also."
Yeah, I am a traitor. I play Mech Warrior.
Well, shit, I played so much Ghost Recon in the last 2 weeks. It's ridiculous.
That game still around?
I play Wildlands. It only came out a couple years ago. It's a lot of fun. You shoot narcos in the head, and it makes a nice meaty thump.
And you make a bandito boy band to assist you in this battle.
Yeah, on my second playthrough, I found out that I could dress up my AI squad mates. I had no idea. So I gave everybody the same hat, same backpack, same ghillie suit pants. So everybody's got fringe on, everybody's got a tank top, and they're all smoking cigars. But they're different colors. One guy got white camo, the other guy's got like blue, navy blue camo, and one guy's got digital green. And I am, of course, the leader of the Backstreet Banditos, so my guy looks similar but is cooler with different accessories.
And pink.
No, actually, it's all black.
Okay.
He's the Justin Timberlake of the boy band.
Correct. Only I don't have noodle hair.
He's the one with the future.
Yeah. I just
Dennis,
think it's hilarious. We roll around all over the place, and the Backstreet Banditos jump out of the fucking helicopter and shoot people and walk off.
I feel I may have sold Dennis Meissner short earlier on. He's actually closed it down to about a half second there, Tony, so he's coming back at it.
Get it, Meissner.
Talking about Backstreet, they are doing a concert in Vancouver.
Why?
Money.
Yeah. Okay.
The answer to most of life's questions is money. Looks like we missed a little something between Stockmill and Riccobene. No change in position though. But Stockmill's on a charge. He's got the gap down to less than a second.
I'm joking. They don't do it for the man. They do it because they love the fans and they love doing music.
It's for the love of art, man.
Yeah, that one.
Looks like Zatoni's having a little bit of lag spike at the moment. It's settled down for now as he continues his battle with Dennis Meissner. Mike McGracken up to 8th place, having overtaken Stefan Gervais.
And anybody who is a fan of Mike is now known as a McGrackhead.
I like it. We're going. Release the McGrackheads!
Indeed.
And not really much in the way of battles going further back. Although Richard Higgs is catching up to Rick Martel, so there might be a bit of a showdown there for 13th place between two guys who have definitely been in the wars throughout the course of this.
So I guess my guy is not gonna win. Byron's guy is definitely not gonna win.
He's just sandbagging. He's sandbagging. He's gonna make a comeback.
He's sandbagging to the point where he's a lap down, Byron. I think
it's all about instilling overconfidence in your enemy, and then you crush their spirit.
I think Rick Martel is smart because if he's a lap down, he theoretically does less laps, so he wins because he arrives first.
Trying to game the system. I gotcha.
Yes.
Except that wouldn't even work because Clapzul and Higgs are also lap down, so Clapzul would win.
No, because I see the Reimers 12 laps down. So Reimers.
No, Clapzul and Higgs.
No, but I see a guy here on 15th place.
Well, Reimers is completely out of the race. So.
Well, he finished. He won.
Well, then technically Joe Racer won. He crashed out on the first lap.
Okay.
There was a picture on Discord and everything with his car like completely missing its entire front end, and us joking that somehow, and Paul Riccobene saying, "There's no way he could have finished the race on that." I'm like, Frederico's Wagner would have found a way.
I think Simion has this in the bag, third place.
I think a pretty solid third place for Simion Nacu. And a little bit of ground made up in the championship. Good work by him. And Mike Stockmill on the attack against Paul Riccobene.
Go, Mike.
The championship leader trying to hang on to 4th place here. Of course, Paul was relatively dominating the championship up until Sonoma, where he just had an absolutely miserable showing. And he has been petitioning since to get that track removed from the calendar for next season.
For which I agree.
But the joke's on him, because if we remove that, then he has to race Macau twice. Backwards.
Yes. Well, the rest of us are racing like Monzos and he has to race
Oh,
And Macau will never be on the calendar. Let's be clear about that.
What?
I will never allow it.
Maximum carnage!
I will never allow Macau to be on the calendar.
All I know is that they've got a couple corners of death. I need that in my
The
life.
entire track is death.
I need that in my life. That needs to be the finale. That's the last race on the calendar.
Oh, stop! They're going up the inside!
Little puppet grind.
Couldn't get it slowed down enough, though, and Riccobene will continue to hang on to 4th place here with just 2.5 minutes to go in this race.
Paco has a dead hairpin that in the VTCC cars, the secret to be fast, like about 1 second faster per lap, is to use the handbrake in the hairpin.
Sounds recommended.
Yeah.
Little power slide never hurt nobody.
Gentlemen, as we roll down on this, do we have any predictions for this weekend's races with the Academy taking to the track as well as the GT2s at Saxonburg?
Federico's finishes the race no matter what the fuck happens.
Solid bet. I'd give that like minus 1,200 odds.
And then Darcy wins the GT2 race.
Darcy Parkinson, GT2 winner is the call. Gotcha.
Oh?
For
You
my
are down
part,
with the syndrome?
For my part, I'm going to go with the Academy winner is Noel Kahn in race 1. And in race 2, I'm going to go with Rick Martel.
He is very attractive.
And then for the GT2s, I'm calling it for Jürgen Walby.
Jürgen Prochnow?
Jürgen Prochnow would be interesting.
Out of fucking nowhere.
Out of nowhere,
Who's
Jürgen Prochnow shows up.
Who's Jürgen Wallaby?
He's one of the faster guys in the GT2 series.
I also call him a wallaby.
Oh! Ariel Zatoni. Oh, was that Zatoni? I saw Mercedes go off.
Yeah, I think it was. And
But Zatoni has retained his position. So
okay, then he's not.
Zatoni.
Then it's Higgs or Stamper.
Yeah, it could be Higgs. Bo Stamper. It was not an orange car, which is Higgs' car. So that was Bo Stamper making a mistake, and Bo Stamper has dropped behind Eric Friesen by a considerable amount, so that would make sense.
And that's a black car that has no front.
Indeed, that is a missing his front end Bo Stamper, who's now being lapped by the leaders and just trying to drag his car home in 11th place there.
I'm telling you, man, it's weight saving. That's all it is. Go faster that way.
Just no grip on that front end right now.
Whoa, hurtful.
It's not hurtful. There's no grip. Also, looks like
More duct tape.
Looks like we're going to get an extra lap here because I believe the race leader crossed the line with like about 3 seconds to go.
Yeah.
If watching the 12-hour Mount Paradise, Mount Pleasant,
Mount
something?
Panorama Bathurst.
Mount Panorama. If watching the 12-hour race taught me anything, it's just rip everything off and replace it with duct tape.
Pretty much.
It's literally what they did to that car. It was amazing.
And it finished pretty high up, actually.
Just yanking shit. Like something was. There was a wiring harness that would not come off, and this dude just strapped on extra gloves and started just reefing on it until whatever it was. I think they finally went and got some choppers and chopped the fucking thing off, and then wrapped more duct tape.
Don't electrocute yourself. Mike, stop. They'll go down the inside again.
Put him in the wall.
And he almost did put him in the wall.
No, that was a race incident.
Yeah. Mike Stockmill showing restraint. I'm just saying, if that was Byron in the BMW, Paul, you'd be in the wall.
Yeah, you just listen. I know how to do the pit maneuver. I'm very good at it in video games. It would take me a while to master it into this, but I'd figure it out.
Once again, this is the guy that Martin Edmonds wants to give a steering wheel to. I suggest that Sean should get the steering wheel, but whatever. So it looks like we're going to get a victory here for the rough in the control of Gerardo Del Valle. Is your winner. Ben Schwari taking second place in the Nissan. Third's going to go to Simion Nacu, who's going to make up some ground in the championship, ahead of championship leader Paul Riccobene and Mike Stockmill, the debutant, in fifth place. Ariel Zatoni is currently holding on to sixth against Dennis Meichner. I mean, I guess Meichner is technically close enough to make a move, but it seems kind of unlikely, especially with that little wiggle out of the turn there. So it should be Zatoni and the Mercedes taking home 6th and the Corvette 7th. That is 7 different cars in the top 7.
That's very nice. Wiggle.
Zero bringing the parity. 8th place looks like it's going to go to Mike McGracken in the Audi, who ruins our parity by being the same car as Paul Riccobene.
Nobody using the P4 competizione?
Nobody's using the people. Oh!
Cowards.
Stefan Gervais, minus a front end at the moment. Yeah, the P4 is one of 2 brands not represented on the grid, I believe.
What's the second one?
Ford. No GTs, no Mustangs.
Okay. Cowards.
Stefan Gervais gets across the line in 9th place. Richard Higgs behind him there, finishing in 13th. Eric Friesen sporting some damage from, I believe, the early laps there. I think he's missing a back end.
He got penetrated.
He's very missing a back end, but he's going to take home a top 10 today, showing you the gumption on the matter. Mark Labzul finishes in 12th, Bo Stamper in 11th, and Rick Martel 14th. That is your field. 10 cars on the lead lap, including the Sands back end, Eric Friesen. Although he was not far from being lapped, 1 minute and 37 seconds off of the race leader. So we did get another winner. Fastest lap went to Ben Schwari in the Nissan. Gentlemen, your thoughts on this race?
There was a lot of wheels and tires and stuff. People used a lot of gas, and it damaged the environment digitally, and I'm opposed.
Mr. C?
Being a little bit more professional, I'm really impressed with Simion, because he's like on the same lap times as the first 2 guys, so good job, Simion.
Indeed, Simion Nacu continues to dominate the Silver Cup. We will be back with you in 2 weeks' time at Laguna Seca, but
probably not with Benny because he's a coward.
Indeed, probably not with Benny. Travis Wallace probably is most likely I'm going to go with, but we'll see. We have action coming to you from Race Room Bridge and the Saxon Ring this weekend, so stay tuned for that.